And we are live. Welcome to the Rome Show. Got a special guest today, coach, life coach, mind, body, spirit, positive energy.
Yes.
Hi, how you doing,
Hi.
Rachel?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's great.
Well, I appreciate you for coming on the podcast.
Happy to be here.
I see you got an accent. Where you from?
Israel.
Israel. Okay.
Yes. Israel. And I'm in New York for the last 16 years. So it's been a while.
Okay. Nice. So, for the people on my platform that don't know, can you tell them a little bit about what you do?
Okay, so I do mindset health coaching and I focus mainly on that. I focus mainly on healing our relationship with food. And what happened is that when we heal our relationship with food, we always do it through healing our relationship with ourselves. And there is so much that happens in that process of healing your relationship with yourself. Because what happened is, people go on a diet and they go on a diet, they go off a diet. And if you're really thinking of any kind of relationship that people have, any kind of issue people have, they usually don't go on something that is a short term solution. But when it comes to our health, we look for this quick fix for the short term solution. I'm on a diet. It means that in a matter of time, I'm going to be off. Just by saying I'm on a diet, you just hear it's like, okay, so when am I off? When am I stopping? And then we found ourselves into square one. And my own journey started when I myself had an eating disorder many years ago. And at the same time, I had a BA in nutrition and sport education. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? I know what I have to do. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. But why can't I do what I know? So the distance between our heart and our brain, sometimes can be so far. We know
Right.
it, but we're still not doing it. So this is when I went to coaching in order to heal myself. And when I found out that really the reason I wasn't doing certain things is because of my mindset, because of my belief system, because of, the in a way it's a neuroscience that I understand today, the things that I heard in my childhood, things that I didn't believe. And all of those things brought me to where I am right now and to creating this program.
Right. Great story. And so from back then until now, how do you feel that you learned like what to eat, you learned what to do, and you overcame that
Yeah, so it's
milestone?
even more than knowing what to eat because I knew what to eat. I wasn't doing it. And I wasn't doing it because I thought I was broken. I didn't believe I'm able to do it. I connected too much comfort with food. My way to comfort myself and to heal myself with from a bad day would be with food. So if I had a bad day and I would eat something, I would have a very hard time not doing it. Another problem was that the second I kind of put myself on some kind of a diet and I wasn't allowed to eat a lot of foods, I wanted it more. So my problem started when I was pregnant with my oldest, and my doctor told me to prevent certain foods because of a medical condition. And I'm like, okay, so if I can't eat chocolate, all I'm thinking about is chocolate. And this is what happens when people are trying to, in a healthy way, they're like, you know what, my A1C, that's mean my sugar is too high. I want to eat healthier. So I'm not going to eat this and this and this anymore without understanding how to do it right. And then all they want is just to eat these foods more. And they kind of go into a place of something is wrong with me. Am I failure? And you can feel that blank, I think.
Right. And it's a lot of stuff to keep up with.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask, because for me, when I'm having like a rough bad day, I need a bag
Mm-hmm.
of donuts. I need a bag of powdered
Mm-hmm.
donuts. How about you?
Okay. Not anymore.
Not
It
anymore.
used to be cereal and milk. My weakness was cereal and milk, and I was able to just, by the time you add the cereal, the milk, the cereal, by the time I was done, it was a lot, and I didn't need that. But really, if you're thinking when you had a bad day, you just need a break. You just need something that will take care of you, not only at the moment of like, okay, I have this good taste in my mouth, dopamine to my brain, I'm feeling good. You want to feel good throughout. You don't want to finish this box of donuts and feel like, not only I had a bad day, now I'm feeling sick because I had a whole box of donuts. Now, if
Right.
you're thinking more than this, where is it starting? How many times did you see a kid falling down and hurting his knee, let's say, and somebody's going to give him a lolly or something sweet to stop crying? It's starting there. We
Hmm.
make the connection that food makes me feel good.
Right. And as far as like everything you're doing, like your brand, your coaching, is it just you or you have a team?
Um, I do the coaching. I have a team, like a secretary and things like that, and an assistant, but I'm doing the coaching. Maybe one day I will, extend, but for right now, it's me.
Okay. A lot of work.
Yeah, but I love it. I don't call it work. I call it my mission. So when it's my mission, I enjoy doing it and I want to do it.
Right. Had to ask that. I like to see because like a lot of independent people like myself, I
Hmm.
wonder if they're like solo or if they got like a team and stuff because it's a lot of work.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
just to backtrack real quick, what's some healthy snacks that you can suggest that if someone wanted some healthy snacks?
I would ask you first, why are you eating? Meaning,
Okay.
if you're hungry, then it depends also if what is it that you want. There is a lot of different ways to eat. And if you're eating just to comfort yourself with something, then you don't need a snack. If you're eating because you're hungry, then you need a meal. Maybe you didn't eat before enough, Maybe a lot of times we're just very tired. A lot of times we're craving things. Now, if I'm craving something, then why am I craving? And what I like to tell my clients is that there is four ways of eating. We have fuel to fuel our body. We have joy that I like it. It tastes good. And then we have the storm and the fog. The storm is when I had a bad day, and the fog is that I have no idea what I'm eating. I'm just on a phone. I'm busy with something, someone. It's there. By the time I'm driving, I don't know. By the time I'm done with whatever I'm doing, the food next to me disappeared. I don't even like it. So we don't want to have these two eating. Now, if it's joy, if there is a snack that you really enjoy, have it. But it's all coming to moderation when you want to have it. It's just like, with your credit card. Like if you're going to go and just swipe it all day long without thinking, you're going to have some kind of outcome. But sometimes you can splurge on something and say, you know what? I deserve that. I want to splurge on this thing. But it has
Right.
to be with, mindfulness.
Right. Good. Good. So how do you handle failures or setbacks?
I think we're human. And it's part of the process. So if I poured right now a cup of water, I poured somebody a drink and I poured a cup of water and I spilled, does that make me incapable of pouring water? No, I'm a human. It happens. And then I will get up, I will wipe it up, and that's it. Now, when it comes to our eating habits, we have to deal with it the same thing. We're human, we're supposed to make mistake. After mistake, it's compassion and curiosity. Compassion towards myself, not beating myself up over it, and curiosity of what happened, like what's going on. I just want to learn from what happened before. Is it I was just very upset. I'm tired. I had a lot of processed food yesterday. So, or maybe I'm just really distracted with something. So, just getting to know ourselves, I think it's so important.
Right. And what's some habits that you improved in your life that you're proud of yourself of?
Oh, so many of them. First of all, my mornings. I used to wake up in the morning and just like start my day in this like clothing fires kind of a thing, just jumping from one, never being able to accomplish anything to the end and always feeling like I didn't do enough. And part of healing my relationship with myself was, and from healing my relationship with food required healing my relationship with myself. It always goes that way. Was first of all, I'm enough, and whatever I make, and to learn to create time and to stop snacking, stop all this fog eating, just this constant putting something in my mouth. It's not because I'm hungry, and treating my body the right way, movements. I used to kind of beat myself up with exercise. That was like, oh, you overate, then you have to be in the gym certain amount of time. Now the going out and working out is a treat. It feels good, and I know when to stop. I know when it's time to take a day off.
Hmm.
So it's really one of the things that I'm thinking to myself, like if I would have tell myself 15 years ago that I'm where I am right now as far as my health, my mindset, I would never believe it. Like, oh, I would say like this is such a big job. But it happened with these small habits, like one step at a time, a little bit more, a little bit more. And this is, I think, should be the mindset in general when talking about our health. Like sometimes people think like, oh, I have to lose. I had one of my clients, she had to lose, she gave herself a goal to lose over 100 pounds. She's like, oh, this is so much. But if you're looking at the slowly getting there, it happened. So it happened a little bit, it took some time. But then when you get there and you're able to maintain it, and this is the most important thing, because when you do it the right way, you're able to maintain it, then you just got there.
Right. And you just gotta stay focused and stay consistent with it.
Absolutely.
What's your daily routines like? Life of a
My
coach.
daily routine. So I wake up pretty early. I try to wake up at 5 to 5:30. I have four children, so I need to take some time to myself before my kids wake up. So I have some kind of reading, meditation always in the morning. And that's not because of, all this meditation movement and the Zen. I just feel like it helps me kind of set my intentions for the day. There is gratitude, there is some movement every day. That's not going to be my workout. And then it depends on the day. So I have my clients, I'll go to the gym. I have my kids. So it's very much depend, but my morning routine, no matter what stays. This is what's happening in the morning.
Never switching
What?
unless you have to. You never stop anything out of your daily schedule unless it's like something you have
Usually,
to do.
usually not. And if something happens and I can't put let's say I can't put, I have a 2-year-old, I'll give you an example, and she woke up together with me at 5 a.m. So I won't be able to do my meditation with her. Then I'll do it later on, but I will do my movement. And I think that just being compassionate with yourself, that the second we go into this black and white, that it has to be this way, and if something happened, big deal. No, this is my usual routine. Every day, some days, I have to pray, but I can say that 90% of the time, if not more, this is it.
Nice. Yeah, I try to keep my schedule like solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you stay motivated during challenging times?
So I think that we give too much to motivation. Motivation is great, don't get me wrong. But I think that when it comes to our health, habits are something that we more have to focus on. So when I'm motivated, then I will go the extra. Then I'll go the extra mile with whatever it is. But the same thing that I don't need motivation to wake up in the morning and brush my teeth and do my regular work, the same I don't need my motivation to do my routine. It's who I am. It's what I do. Like think about anything that you do that no matter what you're doing it,
Hmm.
you don't need the motivation for it.
Right. It's instant.
100%.
And
So it's all about habits.
right. Gotta be disciplined and be strict with yourself sometimes.
Yes, but I think that the word discipline, like sometimes people like kind of get afraid with the word discipline. It's because it sounds like, our early childhood, when we got discipline in school or we got discipline at home. But I think this is more of a self-discipline, and self-discipline is something that allows you so much more. Meaning instead of the outside telling you what to do, you're the one that get to tell yourself what to do. So it kind of gives you power back rather than giving power out.
Right. And who's been like your most influential mentor in your life that
Oh, so
make
many. I can really say that I've learned from, I'm reading a lot, and I have my mentor coach that I have to ask her permission if I can mention her name, so I won't. But from really everywhere, I always feel like we can kind of learn from every person on this earth because we're all unique. So from every person, I can learn and I can grow from it. Because you know what? This is great. But if I'm thinking back, maybe my dad. My dad is not alive anymore, and he wasn't a healthy person growing up, and he just had this positive attitude to life. Just no matter what, with the illness, with whatever was going on, he was always just looking at the bright side and looking at what can he learn and what's good happened from whatever challenge is. So I would say my dad.
nice pick. Rest in peace. Sorry to hear
Yeah.
that. And sometimes when you don't focus on like being positive, like
Mm-hmm.
the negativity could take over fully.
True. I would even say more than that. I think that we also have to allow ourselves all kind of emotions. And this is something that sometimes people think that, oh, because you are supposed to deal properly your emotions, it means you have to be happy and smiley all day long and just be positive. we have to recognize that yes, I'm allowed to have a bad day. I'm allowed to feel sad, bad, angry, whatever it is. But I also have to know, why am I feeling this way? I have to know that I'm responsible for my feelings. I have to know how to get out of there. So I feel like this allowing of feelings is always so important rather than just, okay, I have to be positive.
Right. Just sometimes let your feelings be natural.
Yes.
And how did you? What was it like? You're like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do for your career as a life coach.
Ooh, it wasn't like that. I went to college for something totally different. I went for engineering actually.
Okay.
Yes, I thought I'm gonna do that, and then, like I said before, I went for coaching just for my own self. I said that I have to heal myself, and that was a long time. That was about 15 years ago, and then going for therapy wasn't so okay. Let's say I won't even say okay. Like today, it's everyone go for therapy, right? We all go for
Right.
coaches, but 15 years ago, and especially with my background, it was more of something that, oh, you go there only if something is wrong with you. And I knew that, okay, nothing is wrong with me, then I don't want to go for help. That is totally mistake to think this way. So I went for coaching to help myself. And after I did my process and I was able to heal myself, I'm like, 1 second, I have to help other people do it. And every time I hear someone going on a diet, off a diet, or, obsessing with food or living, or even being in a healthy weight, but constantly, just feeling bad about themselves regard the food and the beating themselves up. Like, it shouldn't be this way. There is a different way. You don't have to diet all your life. I see sometimes people going on 10, 20 diets in their lifetime, just up and down and up and down and up and down. And it's just too sad.
Right. And that could be bad for you too, right?
Absolutely. For your mindset, for your health, for everything in between.
Right. What's to you? What's one of the most rewarding parts of what you do?
Again, I didn't get you.
Like for you,
Mhm.
what's one of the most rewarding parts to you about like what you do?
Oh, it's seeing one of my clients, not when they're done. They will call me like a year later or 2 years later, and they will be like, Rachel, I am in such a better place right now than I was 2 years ago. And not only that, I was able to heal my relationship with food and maintain it, I'm in a better place. I know that I have the choice to do whatever it is that I want. It's in my hands. I have the power back. And when I see that, this is definitely the most rewarding thing for my job.
And like how does that feel? Like, you help somebody, you know, and it really truly helped them. How do you feel?
Yes. Oh, how do I feel? It's can't even describe that moment. It's like I'm in the right line of work. This is satisfying. Like when one of the things when I started coaching, I was thinking that I need something to fill up my cup. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, so what is that going to be? I can say that my work really does that. It's really the idea that I can help people with doing a change that is not only in what you eat, that it's a change that affects your life throughout. Like really, it opens so many doors,
Right.
and that's a reward.
And I know you help multiple people. And how's that feel? Because that's more of just like helping one person.
Absolutely. So I work with groups also. I do a lot of group coaching. And in the group coaching, the beginning and the end and the regards that I get from people afterwards. And you know what? One of the most interesting thing that I have a lot of times people tell me, not only that I've changed, my kids changed because I talk to my kids different, and I don't make the same bad connection that I had with food to my children. So I'm not going to tell them, okay, when you fell down, you're going to get a lolly or you're going to get some kind of a candy, and I'm able to allow my kids to process their emotions. So not only that, you help one generation, you help more than one generations. I think that this is definitely a big reward.
Right. And I gotta ask, I know you said like in the morning time, you try to get that self
Mhm.
time. But other than that, do you get time to yourself?
Yes, I create time for myself. I always feel like this kind of things is something that you have to create. So it's going to be the morning. My kids go to school. I have my youngest one is 2 years old, so she's going to some kind of a play group. And in the evenings, I learned to create time for myself. And I learned also to take help so I would be able to create more time. When we're talking about creating time, it's always about priorities. We're limited with 24 hours, 7 days a week. Whenever you say yes to something, you say no to something else, and the other way around. So to say yes for what really matters, I think that this is an important thing to remember.
Right. And how do you balance everything?
How do I balance priorities? We'll go back to priorities. It's,
Okay.
what really changed my mindset when it comes to saying yes and a no. So, because when I started my journey, I was having a hard time saying no to things and to people. And, you want to be the good person. And when I
Hmm.
realized that every time I say yes, I really say no to something. So instead of thinking about it that I'm saying no to something, I'm thinking, what am I saying yes to? So it has to make sense and it has to be worth it.
Right. And I got one more question. How do you
Yeah.
handle how do you handle like stress?
Many different ways. It very much depends on where I am. Most of the time, breathing always helps. What can help is for myself, I have a certain song that I would listen to lower stress if I need to. A lot of times, it just putting my hands into cold water can kind of ground your back. So it's very much depend on what is it that I am dealing with. And at the same time, I think what's really helped me is to remember that I am responsible on my feelings. Even if I'm feeling stressed for something, it's always created by something that I'm thinking. So what's going on in my brain? And knowing what's going on in my brain kind of put things in perspective. Okay, so this is the worst scenario. This is the best scenario. Now I can choose where do I want to focus, or I can choose what's important, what's not. And the fact that I kind of take power back, that okay, it's in my hands. I'm the one that's going to choose what is it that I want to feel. So even if I want to feel stressed, it was my choice.
Right. Good advice. Well, I really appreciate you for coming on the podcast.
Sure, you're welcome.
Where can so if somebody wants to get in contact with you, get some coaching, how do they go
So
about it?
so I have my website, from Instagram. There is a link over there, and from there you can just send an email
All right.
or
Really
just leave
appreciate it.
your, yeah, sure. Happy to
Say
be
that.
here.
All right. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a good one.
You too. Have a great
Thank you.
day. Bye
You
bye.
too.